What is going on YouTube? Hater back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we are going to be looking at XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin, as well as the S&P 500. Specifically in today's video, we have to talk about quite a few different things. We have to talk about the XRP prices. We're going to be looking at, like I said, Ethereum breaking through major resistance here. This is huge for today. Very exciting. Might be time to be entering for a bull run potential. Bitcoin has broken through its major resistance today, although it is teeter-tottering on overbought. And the S&P 500 is retesting a major resistance. So when the markets do decide to open up today, things are going to be very, very peculiar and very interesting. Yesterday brought us some, I'd say expected news, but for some people it might be unexpected. But the Feds have obviously continued to raise interest rates, as we all have, anticipated, and I've anticipated into the middle of this year. Most likely, Fed raises rates a quarter point, expects ongoing increases. This is by no means a surprise to most people, but we do have to talk about it because, it just starts to piss people off just a little bit, and I'd love to kind of go on a little rant after this introduction here, and I'd love to hear what your guys' opinion are, how everybody is holding up. Truthfully, if there was ever a video to comment on one of mine, we get probably 3,000 to 4,000 people that are going to watch and listen to me talk right now, so please take the second out of your day to just comment on this video and let me know how you're doing. I really want to hear how you're doing in this, and I'll give you my questions in a second. With this all being said, definitely make sure to smash the like button, turn on post notifications, subscribe, and let's dive into today's episode. So to give you guys the breakdown, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go on my rant. We'll talk about the Fed raising rates. Then we're going to look at, XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin, and the S&P 500. So specifically diving in, let's talk about this rant. With the Fed raising rates a quarter point, they raised it by 25 basis points, a smaller increase, but it is definitely continuing to pump higher and higher and higher, which means we are now going to see higher credit card interest rates, higher personal loans, higher car loans, higher mortgage rates, so on and so forth. Anything that involves borrowing money is going to become increasingly more expensive. Lining with the market cooperations that at a 0.25 rate hike takes it to a range of 4.5 to 4.75, the highest rate since October of 2007, which, if you guys know, was when we had the massive, housing market crash. The Fed starting rate hikes to bring down inflation, the highest level since early 1980s here. Stocks fell, then they actually went a little bit higher, which is interesting. I feel like the markets have pretty much, thought about this and have included it in the markets here, but it says Fed firmly focused on inflation, so on and so forth. Fed's bond buying. I don't even want to talk about that because we know they're just continuing what they're already doing. My questions for you, which I'd really appreciate it if you comment down below. Over the course of last year to this year, we have my rent, things that have affected me. So fortunately, I have no debt. I have zero debt. I've paid everything off. I live below my means. So I'm not as affected, but it does, and it is starting to sting. And I feel so bad for some people that I know who were, just kind of borderline on the fence here or living paycheck to paycheck are now getting absolutely crushed. And it's just crazy how this all works out. The people that were living paycheck to paycheck, barely skating by, we're now shoved into, taking out debt, and then they are taking out this debt. And what does the Feds do? They jack up interest rates. So not only are you forced to borrow money, you now have major increases on the interest that you owe on that money that you are forced to borrow. So it just sucks how this world works, the way everything is. But, since the beginning, what I've seen personally, we've seen gas prices increase. I've seen rent from last year to this year increase over $600 a month. The current apartment I'm living in now, which I will no longer be living in at the end of this year, has increased over $600 from last year to this year per month. That's the jump they added on, which is absurd. Not only has that increased, but the water and the sewage prices have increased in regards to what I pay. I just got an email, which is why I'm starting this rant this morning, that Florida Power Electric is raising their rates again for electric even more. So we've seen gas increase. We've seen, the prices for food increase tenfold, increasingly tenfold, which is costing a fortune here. So every single thing that you need just to live, the bare necessities, have exploded in price. Shelter, food, clothes, everything that you need to live on has exploded. Now, if you were living paycheck to paycheck or skating by, barely making it, or maybe you had a savings account, maybe 2 years ago you were actually putting money into your savings account, it's probably gone now because you've now been forced with these higher prices to spend more money on all of that. And then because you spent all this money, you're now like, crap, I burned through my savings account. I haven't gotten a raise for my job in 3 years because most jobs they're either laying you off at the same time all this is going down, they're laying you off, or they're not giving you a raise, because why would they give you a raise when the markets are in a recession? Duh, they're not going to give you that money. So now you're screwed. You're like quadruple screwed. So if you don't have an emergency fund, you're not making it through this recession. And it's crazy how the markets work like that. My girlfriend has gotten raises for quite a while from the job she's worked. Well, guess what? She hasn't gotten a raise from last year. Why do you think? Because they're in a recession, and obviously these businesses are not going to want to give out money when they have their own bills to pay. So it's crazy how all this happens. And then if you were living paycheck to paycheck, or you burned through your savings account, now you have to take on debt with your credit cards, with a personal loan, or with a HELOC on your house. Well, guess what? All of those, they just now increased their interest rates from 2 or 3% or 0% or 1% to now 7%, 15%, 25%, 30% on credit cards, and so on and so forth. So it really screws you, and then they dig it down even further if you're like middle class. So it's absurd. Obviously, this is why debt is horrible, because when events like this happens, you get sucked down into the bottom here, and that's why I really would like to know how you guys all feel. How are you handling this? Tell me if I'm making sense. How have you been affected? Did you burn through your savings account? Have you gotten a raise at work this year? Let me know. Answer these questions, because I'm really curious. Have you gotten a raise? How are you dealing with it? Have you burned through savings accounts, or have you needed to take out debt? How is it affecting your life? Because I'd love to hear it. I'm sheltered in my room making videos, so just tell me your opinion. But moving on from that little rant, we do have to talk about cryptocurrency and stuff like that. So as you guys can see, top 10 cryptocurrencies were up 3.87%. Surprisingly, markets are starting to lift up, and this is where things are getting a little confusing. We're even seeing crypto do that. We were kind of expecting this. In my previous videos, you can see a giant decision is coming. Bull run imminent. Only a few days left. Breakout this week. I've been talking about the fact that we are going to probably see a break to the upside very soon. We've went from 80% bearish to 50-50, and as you guys can see, we're clearly starting to continue that trend right now. Ethereum has finally started to play above the major resistance here. This is not an opportunity to buy in just yet, but if we can confirm closing above here tonight in about 9 hours and 55 minutes, then I do plan on buying in long, because I would expect with the confirmation closure above this pendant flag to immediately start to rally up to the upside here. So we'll see if that actually happens. So we have this symmetrical triangle forming here. This should ideally, in a pendant flag, we have the pole with the flag. This should be breaking bullish if we can confirm closing above the price ceiling, which it looks like we're doing today. We shot up from 1640 all the way up, even though we're nearing overbought. There's a good chance we'll probably dip into that. So confirm buying in very soon if we close tonight exactly where we are. And there's a good chance that we are going to do that. You can see on XRP here, we're also starting to kind of lift up a little bit too here. Kind of still intertwined in the same positions here, but we are ideally on a track record to continue to pump up to the upside here. So I do expect long term to sift our ways back up. I've mentioned this continuously in all my videos here. Long term, we've bought in at 38 cents here. We're currently at 41. So we've seen a small little correction to the upside here. My XRP portfolio, let me just pull it up. My XRP portfolio is up just a little bit. I'm only up about 7.5%, which is still a lot, if you really think about it here. But it is starting to swing up, and I do believe long term we are going to see this spiral to the upside, about a 95% run over the next couple of months here. That's with XRP specifically. But short term, I haven't been making short term trades on XRP for the most part. I've been holding out mainly on Ethereum, Bitcoin, and so on and so forth here. But Ethereum, I believe, is going to confirm breaking to the upside here. I believe it's going to pull Bitcoin with it, although we are still retesting resistance here. Let's see if we can confirm closing above that before we buy in. And honestly, I wouldn't even touch Bitcoin. My main focus is on Ethereum right now. This is the easiest one to track, and the S&P 500. The S&P is opening up in about 15-20 minutes here. This is going to be big, because I'd like to see how things do. We're retesting a major resistance here. Now, before I go into that, for those that are wondering how to trade on this, if we do close here, I'll be doing all my trades on BidFi, the #1 cryptocurrency leveraging exchange that I like to use here on the channel. Buy long, sell short, leverage trade, stop losses, take profits, everything you can think of. BidFi offers. They're revamping from BitYard to BidFi. Just the name change. The website's the same, and they are going to be dropping some promotions very soon, so stay tuned for that. But they offer XRP, which not many exchanges offer, to leverage, so make sure to check that out. Link is down in the description, completely free. They even offer a demo account, which gives you 100K in Monopoly money to test your skills before you decide to actually put in real cryptocurrency. You can use the demo, which is free. Test your knowledge. If you make tons of bad trades, then I wouldn't recommend investing or trading or leveraging, because it is educated gambling. That's my opinion on leverage trading. So with that being said, moving forward here, Looking at the S&P, today will be a very peculiar day. Will we be able to break through resistance that we've pretty much been using for 13 years now as a major resistance here? You can see in regards to this downtrend, the descending fractal, we've been doing nothing but getting rejected off of here since the start, which was early 2009. It goes into 2011 here. You can see kind of we've been using it mainly as a top. I could draw it just like this. This is how we've been kind of playing around here, and you can see we've been inside of this intertwine for quite some time, retesting it and rejecting off of it until the Fed's, mega dump tons of inflation or tons of stimulus that you're now paying back, caused a correction. Here we are retesting resistance. I would be floored and shocked and mind blown if we break through this major resistance here. If we start to trend above here, I'm going to lose my mind. I was not expecting markets to pump like that. I would ideally expect to see rejection and continuation. However, we are in a higher low pattern here, and I did say that since confirming closure above this major purple resistance that we did buy in long, and I did put my money in here. But I do believe that we should hopefully see maybe some movements like this. I don't expect to see something like this. That'd be crazy. I don't want us to be breaking above that resistance. Stay inside of it, move us, create higher lows, and move us up like that. That's the scalability that I would like to see. And it looks like we're kind of due for a pullback too after 4 or 5 weeks of bullish break to the upside, where we need to see a little bit more of a pullback followed by more consolidation. But with that being said, definitely let me know in the comments down below what you think on of this market. But with that being said, smash the like button, turn on post notifications, subscribe, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace.